Go.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you. Are we live? Because I'm not red. Yeah, okay, fab. Well, hi everybody. We were just talking about how our little screens have to turn red when we go live, and indeed my little red screen hasn't turned well, my little screen hasn't turned red. So anyway, lovely to see you. I'm glad that we are back on, and although we'll talk a little bit about the COVID vaccine programme, that's not the aim of today. Now, we've started these up again in light of the kind of requests that we've had from you all about finding out about the practice, what goes on, and the fact that a lot of people have enjoyed the sessions that we've run. So we thought we would start again. And what we really want from you today is to tell us other things that you want us to talk about in the future. How long you want, you know, how frequent should I say, rather than how long, how frequent you want these events, how you want to do them, the content, all of those things, because really we love doing them. We get such a lot of feedback from you about what's going on. And so we want to continue, but we want themes and context that actually are what you want to listen to. Okay, not what we think you do, what you actually want to listen to, and then we can adapt accordingly. So today we've started off, I've got a few people to introduce you to, that you may have spoken with them, you may have had emails from them, but indeed you probably don't know what they look like. So I've got a couple of new people, or 3 new people with me to actually meet for that. I've also, we've got a little game about the generation game. It's all tongue in cheek, I promise, okay, about self-care and those things. And then we're going to spend quite a lot of time talking about the data opt-out, which is a big thing in the moment that has just hit us. So that's what the aim of it is. Any other questions that you have, we'll talk about, including, you know, open up for face-to-face and all the different things that you want to ask, please do, and we'll go ahead with that. So, as I said, to start off with, we're going to do some introductions. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you to Darren. Now, Darren joined us in January. Okay, he's been getting himself sorted out and finding out more about us. Oh, my throat is going, isn't it? So I'm going to hand over to Darren now, while I have a drink.
Hello, so I am Darren. I'm one of the, well, I say one of the, I'm the pharmacist at Uphaven and Durrington Surgery. So I've been given a task of trying to figure out what's in your medicine cabinets. So rather than me go around your house, knock on your door at all hours of the day, I thought I can always give you some guidance. So am I allowed to hold them up? Not yet? Oh. Look at that, jumping the gun. So, this is me. Anything else that I need to talk to people about? No. So that is me done. I'll be back, as the man says.
So Darren's going to be talking a bit more with us shortly, but yes, he's our pharmacist. You'll see him in the reception and dispensing areas currently, and you'll probably speak with him more and more on the phone at the present time. But you've now got a face to his name, and he'll be more and more involved in your healthcare going forward with medication reviews, long-term conditions, etc. So I'm going to now pass you on to Charlotte. Now my voice is better. You can tell I've had a drink, can't you? So I'm going to move on to Charlotte. She's our she's our admin manager, and again, a lot of you have spoken with her over the time. So I'm going to pass you over to her, and she can talk to you a little bit more.
Hi there, I'm Charlotte. I'm office lead at Avon Valley Practice. I have a team of 6 members, and we deal with processing a number of different bits and bobs in the office. So we do referrals, or your hospital referrals, doing prescriptions, non-NHS work. We deal with a lot of messages between the reception and the doctors. We send out all your SMSs. So the SMS that you received tonight, we would have sent out that this evening. We deal with Lloyd George notes, so your medical records coming in and out of the surgery. We deal with prescription ordering, and we obviously invite you in for health checks. So we do a number of different bits and bobs, but I don't want to keep you for too long, so I'll hand you back to Anna.
Thanks, Charlotte, much appreciated. Fab. So yes, you probably would have spoken to Charlotte. And again, in terms of if you contact us through the website, often it's her team that are the first initial responders to you regarding that. So let me pass you over to Kathy next. She's one of our advanced nurse practitioners, and she concentrates on helping people with long-term conditions, but also in our same-day team. So let me pass you over to Kathy.
Hi, so my name's Kathy. I've been at the practice about 6 or 7 years now, and I specialise in long-term conditions, but I also do same day, like Anna said, and there's 4 of us on the same day. My colleague Emma, you might have spoken to quite a few times, so she's on leave today, so she's not about, but she tends to do long-term conditions as well with respiratory. My main interest with long-term conditions is cardiovascular, so diabetes, hypertension, heart failure, those kind of things. And you may well have spoken to me about your results or follow-up or your medication reviews. I also look after the nursing team, and we've got a strong team of nurses helping you every day with your dressings and blood tests and things like that. So basically, the other thing that we're going to start to do is we're going to start having diabetes question and answer sessions. So you might see me again if you're interested. All right, Anna, back to you.
Hi, thanks, Kathy. So hopefully that's just been useful to see some of the faces of Avon Valley. I know none of the doctors are with us today. Indeed, we are overrun with contacts today, and I will hopefully have time to talk with you a bit about that, but if not, we'll do that next time. So what we've got in terms of going forward about this is that you've met 3. Again, in future ones, we'll have different people joining, introducing themselves to you. So whoever you want to meet, you know, please do talk with us and tell us what you want from us, and we will ensure it's delivered. We really wanted Emma Scott to be here today, but unfortunately well, not unfortunately for her, but unfortunately for us, she's on annual leave, so she couldn't join. And Emma Scott is an advanced nurse practitioner like Kathy, but she heads up our same day team. So when you phone up asking for an appointment today, she's coordinates the team to respond to you to see whether or not you can be cared for over the telephone, or indeed whether you need a face-to-face appointment. So that's what we're going through to start with, okay, to be able to do that. Right, so we now move in to the little bit of tongue-in-cheek fun bit of our session today, okay, for this. Now, Darren started, he tried to get us to stop playing this game, but I spent a lot of time working this out as to play the generation game. Now, I'm going to play a video, so I want you to sit on your hands. You cannot cheat. You can't write down what you're about to see, okay? But you're going to have to guess at the end by typing in the Q&A what you can see when we say go, okay? And meanwhile, while you're having a guess and a ponder about the things that you can remember that you see on the screen, Darren's going to be talking to you about where to store these things. So you're going to have to multitask a little bit about that. So you're multitasking of listening to Darren talking about where to keep your medicine kits and what to keep at home, whilst typing in the Q&As about what you've seen. So I'm going to share my screen with you and start the video. So I do want you to sit on your hands so you haven't got a pen and paper cheating about what you see. All right. Now, I really try to find the generation game theme tune and music background, but basically I'm not that clever and I just couldn't do it. So we're going to have to go on silence, but I'm going to talk over as if I am Brucey to explain what it is that's coming up, so to help you jog your memory, okay, in terms of these things. So off we go. I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, so you should be able to see this. Right, as we go. So first of all, we have sun cream today, factor 50. What can you say? Followed by a thermometer. Now, have anybody seen a conveyor belt made out of black bin liner? this is the way forward. We then have so Optrex, we have an eye wash. Very important for that. Darren will tell you why in a little bit. And excuse the branding, but it is loperamide, if I said that right, for everybody to need. We've then got indigestion tablets. Always good. Never know when you might need those. And again, other brands are available other than a Co-op. Okay, we have some sterile dressings. So we have a couple of kind of, I've got a couple of versions there, rolled and set. Superdrug, other brands available. And then it's not very clear, but that's hydrocortisone cream, 1% for those stings. Okay, followed by Piriton, again, other brands available, but antihistamines. We've got plasters as we go, little couple of those, and micropore tape coming along from the right hand side. Oh, you almost saw my husband then. He is trying to keep away from the camera. We've then got Germaline. Again, you can have Savlon, but it's any kind of cream to help with that. I think it's antiseptic cream, Darren, in terms of those things, and a little packet of paracetamol just in case of pain relief, followed by tweezers. Now, apparently, very important, NHS say we all need tweezers accordingly. Okay, so I'm going to unshare my screen for this, and you should be able to see me again. Okay, so a little bit of fun for that. So sit on your hands, start typing in the live Q&A about what you saw, but I'm going to hand over to Darren for him to talk about self-care and a bit of medicine box. So again, like I said, a little bit of fun, but Darren, over to you.
Right. As we saw, the conveyor belt there was moving at a rapid pace, so hopefully you've got most of them down-ish. So, storage of said medicines. Ideally, they need to be in date. That's the most important thing. Medicines that are out of date don't work, sadly. What else can we say? Right, I can guarantee that 95% of you will have kept your medicines somewhere where you shouldn't. So do you keep them in the kitchen or the bathroom? Come on, fess up. I do. Mine's in my bathroom. It's always in the bathroom, just by the toilet, by the sink. There's always like a little ice cream tub there with them in. The kitchen and the bathroom are the worst places to keep medicines because they have extremes of temperature. So when you're in the shower having a very nice scrub and dub and whatever you do, it's hot, steamy windows, as was it Tina Turner, I think said. The kitchen again, same sort of thing. When you're cooking your 5-course exciting meals, it's very hot, very humid. We'll keep them in the bathroom, it's traditional. So just keep them somewhere cool and dry. Keep them away from pets. That doesn't include loved ones. They are not pets. And I would also try and keep them away from little children. I'm not into little children, but I don't want to see any poisonings. So is that enough time for me to ramble on about storage conditions? Excellent. Thank you.
I keep doing this because normally I'm the only one that talks, so I don't have to keep putting my microphone on and off, and I'm just not used to it. So we've got somebody that said sun cream, paracetamol. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh, where have they gone? Right, hang on a minute. Sorry, I was reading them and they disappeared off my screen. So somebody's written sun cream, paracetamol, dressing, Imodium, Piriton, Germaline, thermometer, tweezers. How do they get on, Darren? We've got somebody else. Factor 50 sun cream, thermometer, digestive medicine, so indigestion medicine, that's good. How was it? So I'm going to pass over to you. So if you can talk about each of the items about special things. So although we showed paracetamol, it's like it's a pain relief, isn't it? Why do we not have ibuprofen, Darren? That is the question.
Very good question. Right, so I will do them in the order of which you've seen them. So Oh, hang on, there we are. Sun cream, very important. Factor 50, it's very high, it's very good. But how long have you had it? If it's more than 2 years, it's probably no good. Have a look on the back, there's a star rating. So my trick question is, a factor 50 at 4 stars seems really good. But a factor 30 at 5 stars is much better. So a 5-star will actually prevent all the harmful rays getting through. So even though it's lower strength, factor 30, it's got 5 stars, much better. So you have to be careful of the star rating. And for those of you who are not aware, and I'm sorry if I'm teaching people to suck eggs, the factor 50 and the 30, how they work the rating out is if you are, and I'm sorry to say this, if you are ginger and you take 5 minutes to burn, a factor 50 will give you 50 times 5 minutes worth of time out in the sun. If you're dark haired and it takes you 5 hours, you can spend all day, but reapply. Once isn't going to be good enough. So keep reapplying, unless you can buy once a day ones. I'm not sure how good they are. I think they're not too bad, just reapply. The next exciting thing is the thermometer. I don't know whose thermometer this is. I'm hoping it's an oral one. Don't want it anywhere else. So thermometers are very, very good. Forehead ones, just as good. So just keep an eye on temperature. The next exciting item is eye wash. So if you do get something in your eye, then obviously try to irrigate it. Boiled in cold water is good. Some things you may need to get professionally looked at, especially if it's just sand, which is always a good thing. So as long as you've irrigated, it's perfect. Again, watch the expiry dates on them. Imodium or loperamide, always handy if you're out and about and caught short. Not nice. So we have Co-op's own brand of peppermint flavoured indigestion relief. Any indigestion mixtures will be good. Again, watch the dates. If they're liquids, usually the longer you've had them, there's always like some sort of build up and residue around the rim. Ooh, not good. Doesn't taste very nice. So throw it away, bring it in, get a new one. So we have assortment of bandages, plasters. Yeah, I mean, these are good handy things just in case you sort of cut yourself, want to play do-it-yourself mummy. We have 2 tubes of hydrocortisone cream. Hydrocortisone is one of the better things to use. It's safe. It can thin the skin if you use it prolonged, but we're talking years. And if you've got a nondescript insect bite, perfect. We have the next exciting thing, we have Piriton. Other antihistamines are there. You do have to be careful with certain things though, if you're on other meds. If you have glaucoma, if you have, for the men out there, prostate issues, can cause a little bit of problems, but always review, have a chat with people. We have a selection of plasters, again, always good if you're going to cut yourself. We have micropore tape, which will go hand in glove with the dressings. We have Germaline, Savlon will do, any of those, always handy at a pinch. And we have my personal favourite, I love this, the nondescript foil. Always try to keep the boxes. And as Anna's mentioned earlier, why paracetamol? Why not anything else? Ibuprofen is good, can cause problems with stomach, can cause asthma issues. Normally about 5 in 100 are affected, can damage the kidneys long term. Short term, sort of, you know, you've got a bit of a headache, one off is not going to be the end of the world, but anything longer, perfect. And the last but not least, we have the tweezers, perfect for, I was going to say digging out insect bites, but don't dig anything out. Normally eyebrows, to be fair. Us men, we're getting older, the eyebrows are getting longer, need to pull them out. And I think I've probably ruined my career, and I'm going to pass you back to Anna.
I've done it again. Absolutely. I am atrocious this evening. I am so sorry. So what I was about to say was thank you, Darren, very much to be able to do that. Always entertaining. And has anybody got any questions for Darren about that? Now, we know that people have started contacting us more and more about hay fever. And what I think, Darren, did you, I'm just going to check in terms of that, make sure I understood in terms of actually before you contact us, make sure that you've gone to a pharmacist to get and tried over-the-counter products first. Speak to your pharmacist, do those things. They will be able to advise you in the first instance about what is needed. So only contact us once you've tried your over-the-counter medicine, because that will be the first question that will come back with you and say, have you done this? So please make sure that if you haven't, please ensure that you do go and get over-the-counter medicines first. Okay, so I'm just going to check some questions about that to be able to do that. So, okay, any other questions for Darren? We haven't had anything so far other than your awesome responses for items of remembering. And I do like the treadmill by Roy. I think I had a genius idea using a bin liner and moving it across my table. And I hope you all enjoyed my wallpaper in my kitchen. Right. Okay, so now we're going to move into another area, and that is in terms of this national kind of data thing that has hit us. Okay, so I'm going to just share my screen in the first instance because this is what's been sent to us by a patient, and I thought actually this is a really good thing, okay, to show you in the first instance. Okay, so hopefully you can see this by now. Okay, it says Medic Confidential, keep our confidence, and this has gone out in the press. So apparently, and again I say apparently because we were only informed about this last week, about actually this update in terms of the GP data from our practices going out into the community. Oh, sorry, going out at large to be able to do that. And this is about planning and research. Okay, so they're asking to extract certain elements of data from our medical systems. Okay, ours is called System 1, extracting that data and pooling it nationally to be able to plan and research healthcare. So that's the reasons for it. Okay, and the first download or extraction, let's call it that, of data is happening at the beginning of July. And as you can see, oh no, it's actually not on this page, but indeed on other aspects that you've probably written. Oh yeah, it is, it's at the bottom, 23rd of June. If you don't want that to happen, you've got until the 23rd of June to opt out. And they've told us as GP practices that indeed they've also asked all of you to contact us if that's the case. Okay, so we've been on a little bit on the back foot because we weren't really kind of up to speed with this and understood that this was coming, particularly with the deadline of that they have to opt out and tell us by the 23rd of June. All right, so this is what's been ongoing to be able to do that. So what I'm just going to ask here, I've just seen a question being posed. Kathy and Darren, can you just reply to the question that's being posed online clinically about that? It's the second one down, while I carry on about the NHS data. So I'm just going to change my screen here and move to this screen, which is about NHS Digital, which gives you all the information that you need about the planning and research data extraction that we're talking about. Okay, now you can see this, so you can see on top, you can see the link that I've used. This is open to the public of digital.nhs.uk, okay, data collections, and you can see everything through here about what it's about. There is a YouTube video, okay, and if you want me to show it, tell me live, go on to new, and Stuart will set it up and we can run it. So Stuart, keep an eye on the new pages and see whether people ask to watch it, okay? to be able to do that. So I'm just going through, and I know this is a bit weird to see it on the screen, but actually it's really good to see it live, so you can see what we're collecting. And I quite liked this element of what we will collect and what we won't collect. So it says that in this extraction, it will collect data on your sex, ethnicity and sexual orientation, clinical codes about diagnoses, referrals, etc., and about the staff who have treated you. What it won't collect is your name and address, except for postcode in a unique coded form. I have to be honest, I don't know what this unique coded form is. Written notes, as in the free text that the clinicians write about your conversations, images, letters and documents, okay, and coded data that is not needed due to its age. For example, medication referral and appointment data that is over 10 years old. And then certain coded data that GPs are not permitted to share by law. So that's things about like IVF treatment, gender reassignments, etc. And there's set rules in terms of that. So as we go through, you can see this. So it's worth you having a look at this. Okay. Now, as we go through, it says opting out. So like anything, you can opt out, but their setting at the moment for the government is that you are opting in. I'm sorry, no, you have no choice. This data's going. So you must opt out, okay? Now, Charlotte, which is also a really good reason Charlotte's on the call today, one for you to see her, but she's the one that also spotted the number of you who were contacting us about this and raising the alert saying, Anna, you may have been on holiday for a week, but we've got to address this because actually lots of people are contacting us. So it's really good, the teamwork that we have in the practice to find out how you're feeling, what you're doing, to be able to prioritise work as well and actually focus what our Q&As are about. So yeah, you've got Charlotte to thank for this part of the talk. Now, again, like I said, we must get this data and we have to code it on your records by the 23rd of June 2021. So to be safe, get your form into us by midnight on the 22nd of June. Okay, I can't stress that enough if you want us to do this. But here's the form, okay? And I'm going to see whether or not this pops up for it. Or actually, I'm going to just change my screen in terms of that of the form. Can you see this? Yeah, you should be able to see this form. So did you see that I clicked on the form? Okay, and now this is the form that you have to fill out. You can't just send a message saying, please, can you opt me out? Okay, it doesn't work like that. We can't accept that. You have to complete this form. You have to sign it. You have to date it. Now, we use loads of IT, don't we, to be able to do that. So I have gone to our website provider and asked them to create an online form. Okay, and I've asked them where to put it. So we're going to have a look at that in a minute. Now, I've asked them today to do it. I've expressed the urgency of this. I don't know when it will be available, but I think probably if it is available in time, we will share that by WhatsApp so that WhatsApp, what am I saying, by text message out to everybody so that actually you know it's there rather than you keep looking, because that's just annoying, to be able to do that. And we'll send the link out so that if you want to opt out and we're aware of this deadline of the, let's call it midnight on the 22nd of June to be safe, then actually we need to get that data in quickly. And then we'll process on the 23rd of June anything that's outstanding. The sooner you can get that information out to us, the better, because we do have a finite amount of capacity on the 23rd to get it done, and you are cutting it fine, okay? But we will do our very best to be able to do it. Indeed, if you miss this date, it doesn't mean that you can't change your mind at any other time. However, I think the extractions are only happening monthly, so therefore your July data would go, but it wouldn't go in August, from what I understand, in terms of that. Again, I'm not the be-all and end-all of this knowledge, and I urge you to go to the website that I'm showing you on the screen to be able to do that. So we go back to this screen, okay, about opt-out and moving that forward. Now we've got blue leaflets, haven't we, Charlotte, in the waiting room for you to come and collect, is that right? No. Okay, so we used to have blue leaflets, but what with COVID, indeed, no, we don't have any leaflets now, and because they've updated them, we haven't got any more. So this is the place for you to come to be able to have a look and make sure you understand what it is that is happening. Okay, it is really important. Okay, and I'm sorry for the short notice of this. Okay, so we've got these different things that are in here, and you can see everything about it, right? So I make you feel a bit sick looking at the screen in the speed of that. Okay, and like I've said, what we're looking for, I changed the screen again, online, is we've asked for it to get onto online requests and down into your details, and whether you have an opt-out there for the type 1 opt-out that we haven't got at the moment, but I haven't heard from them yet as to about whether or not they've accepted my request and whether or not they'll do it. Okay, so that is coming. All right, please kind of get to grips with that. We can only put the codes in. So going back to that screen, actually, so again, I'll just go down so you can see it. We haven't had anybody ask to see the video from what I can understand. And indeed, you'll see this form here, and you'll see that this is what we will do here. So once we get your form, okay, it's got date received, date applied, and then we'll add this code in. So Charlotte will ensure that her team add this code into your medical records to ensure that it's there. Okay, and that's the one. And then if you decide that actually you want to opt back in again, withdraw your consent, or withdraw your dissent, should I say, then of course you can add that, Charlotte will add that code in, but you'll have to fill out the form again. So at this point, Charlotte, can I pass back to you? Is there anything else that we need to add here? Let's wait for the screen to go to Charlotte. There we are.
Nothing that I can think of at the moment, just that as soon as we get that link in on the website, we'll ping that out to everyone with SMS consent. So obviously if you haven't got SMS consent, if you register for SMS, then we can send that out to you ASAP really. So yeah, so we'll just wait for that.
Fab. Fab, fab, fab. So hopefully that's useful to you. I'm just going to have a quick look at the questions to see whether or not there are any others that are relevant. Now we've got a question about the COVID vaccine, so I'll just update on COVID quickly in terms of that. And then somebody's asked, here we are, so why are you majoring on opt-out? So it's everybody's personal opinion, but indeed understanding that this data extraction is happening and the number of people that have contacted us to opt out, we thought it was relevant to explain what was happening for you to read what is going to happen, okay, so that you can make an informed decision, okay. And if you decide to opt out, this is the way in which it needs to happen, and you've got the initial deadline of the 23rd of June. So all we're doing is sharing information with you. I have no position about whether you should or shouldn't do anything at all, but I am obliged and I do want to share this with you so that you can make your own decision, and that's the most important thing. Okay, right, let me just have a look. And somebody else said, Roy, I didn't need to use that form, just did it online. Now you can do that apparently through the NHS digital system, but that is for, we believe, the national data opt-out, which is this bit here. So we haven't been told that you can do it online. You have to go to the national data output. That's right, Stuart, isn't it, in terms of that, for type 2 opt-out. Yeah, he just put his thumbs up to me to be able to do that. So you may have done it online for type 2, but this is type 1 data. Now, again, the intricacies of the differences between these, I'm not an expert, I know, to be able to do that, but I do want you to read it yourself and see what you want to do. Somebody else has asked, is the data to be processed overseas? Again, it's explained in terms of in here, but from what I understand, it's not, okay? But you can't take exactly what I say, you must read it yourself, but I understand that it's not going overseas. The default position is, as I said, the default position is that this is the information that will be collected from the 1st of July from your medical record. Okay, so that is what will be collected, those green ticks. to be able to do that. Okay. And then somebody else says, does the practice have concerns with patient confidentiality as a result of this data grab? Well, our data protection officer has reviewed all of this and has signed that off as being something that we can do. We will need to update our privacy notices, which will be happening in the next kind of couple of weeks, in line with this, so that it's informed with that. But it's happened at such a pace, like I said last week, that that's kind of in the proceedings that we'll get that sorted, you know, as soon as we can. But yeah, that's what we've got. Okay. And then somebody else has asked about, is there one for the hospital opt out as opposed to GPs, your operations? We get told all about your operations and what happens. So I don't know about hospital data. Okay, we don't get informed about that, but we are looking at your medical records. And as you know, we are the gatekeepers for your medical records. And therefore, it has to come through our systems to be able to extract what's called primary care data for that. Okay, so I think I've answered those questions so far that have come out. I'm just going to ask Stuart to publish those ones that I've answered for those ones, I think, in terms of that, and looking through to be able to do it. So moving on in terms of other things, let's go to the other questions that were asked about COVID and the vaccine programme. So in total, we vaccinated 10,874 people. Okay, for our practice, I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are for how many people have been vaccinated with second and first. I was trying to get that data in time, but it's a never-ending moving feast. So we will kind of put that out there, but we do know that it's over 50% of our population has been vaccinated to be able to do that. So that is moving forward. That's good news. Some have had first, some have had seconds. In terms of that, I think 3,824 people have had second vaccine, which is awesome, out of our 7,600, and then we've got more that have had first. So we're beyond our 50%. We're working in the right direction, and you know, from what I understand, although a few people have worried about City Hall, actually people have had quite good experiences at City Hall. I know there's one question on here, and somebody's asked about the different vaccines that are happening at City Hall. Indeed, City Hall are now vaccinating people with AZ, the Moderna vaccine, and also Pfizer. So if you can only have the Pfizer vaccine, you can still go to City Hall and you can get the Pfizer vaccine. I don't know all the details, but I do know that the Pfizer vaccine is at City Hall. So you can get that vaccine from them. Okay, I'm just going to have a look to see if there's any other questions at all. And I don't think there are. So it is lovely. We've had some lovely comments made even this evening about kind of saying thank you and the welcome. And indeed, there is a national NHS tea party on the 5th of July. So I thought I'd just put this up on the screen about the national celebration of the amazing NHS staff. And when we hear that all from you, that's lovely. And it is to thank you for your patience. Thank you for your kindness. Now, there's been 60 plus of you on the call this evening. And again, that's awesome. I have to say, because it is recorded and then maybe some of you watch it, that some people are really quite difficult and challenging for us. And I know that that's difficult. And it's really difficult to explain it and understand it. And I get the frustrations. I understand, and the whole team understand how difficult actually just life has been since the 23rd of March 2020. And we're tired and we're fed up with it. And we want things to go back to normal. And we get it and we do that. But shouting at our receptionist because they can't get the vaccine appointment booked for you doesn't help, because they're people too. Speaking to the clinicians and walking out when when something doesn't go to plan, we get it, but it's just to reach out there and say we're all human, we're all in the storm, we're all in different boats, but actually we've still got to express kindness to one another, we've still got to be nice to one another. And a lot of you are absolutely just I don't even have the words. I expect you all to be in that NHS treatment one too, but you can't be horrible to us. And I get quite upset because it's my team too, and they work really, really hard. So we just do need you to think twice. Think before you blast off on a dashboard shouting in capital letters, because somebody else is reading that and somebody else is dealing with that. And would you want to be that person that gets shouted at? And maybe you think it's only one person, but actually for a lot of our team, it's one person after another person sometimes. And sometimes it can just be that a little bit too much. And although it might seem very minor to you, actually it's very personal to them. Okay, so I know a lot of you are just brilliant and such good supporters, and I get that, but I just have to kind of say, please, to those that kind of have a bad day and maybe have taken it out on us, we get it, but please, if you could just think twice, that'd be brilliant. And to the people that stick stuff on the front of Durrington about abuse, about how the NHS isn't working properly and isn't doing that, that's not cool that we have to go out there and wash it off. Okay, that's not nice. All right, we've called the police, we've told them what's going on. Okay, we have CCTV. All right, it's just not very nice to do that. So please, I get that everybody has an opinion. I get we've got to express it, and we live in that free country where we're able to do it. But do remember that we are people that just are trying to do our job day in and day out to be able to do that. So anyway, before I get all emotional and protective of everybody, because also I know how awesome you all are too, and we couldn't have done all of our COVID vaccine programme without your massive support, but also ongoing, that is why the clinicians turn up day after day, because also they love their job and they love caring for you, and our receptionists and our dispensers and our administrators and our delivery drivers and our cleaners and everybody that makes this happen in terms of that. Okay, do it for you. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Okay, thank you so much for everything that you've done for us, all those cakes, all those times, just your kind words, but also your kindness when you do come, that you're kind and patient with us when we don't always get it right. We know we don't, but we are human. So I'm going to leave you on that note. Thank you very much for tonight, and we'll speak again soon. Bye.